This video tutorial shows how to use the Mini DSO DS212. This is a very small and handy oscilloscope that you could bring with you wherever you want. Here you have a USB port to charge the battery, the inside battery of the oscilloscope. Basically, the oscilloscope have two wheels to control all the menus. These are the menus. Here you could show the functions. This oscilloscope could show up to two inputs, channel A and channel B, and also have an output that is for a function generator, very basic function generator, but useful from time to time. You have the grid, that are these lines you see. Also the cursors, that are these lines, these two lines, shows here or help you to show here the voltage between here and here, depending on the selection of the channel. Okay, and these other cursors are shown here as the time. So 250 microseconds is the distance between here and here. Okay, at the top of the screen you have the parameters area that you have here. The battery at the left, the battery, the voltage of channel 1. Channel 1 you see is this function blue. Channel 2 is this other function, the voltage. This one is the channel C, or channel A, channel B, channel C. Channel C usually is a function like A plus B, things like that. If there is nothing selected, it shows hide. And here's the time base. That is the distance between two lines in the grid, okay, from here to here. And also this is the trigger, if it is the trigger is if it is in the edge rise or fall. Okay, and also the trigger sync mode here, we will see later. These two are fixed, as I mentioned, and these two are configurable, so we will see them later. Here at the left we have some kind of arrows. A shows the zero of channel A, B the zero of channel B, C the zero of channel C if it is shown, and D is the trigger, in this case activated for the channel A. Okay, and this is the menu. For the menu you use these two wheels. This wheel, if you could, each wheel you could move or push. If you push, you could change. Let me show you first. Okay, so if you push, you could change between the different options. Okay, the menus: page 1 oscilloscope, page 2 measures, page 3 options. So let's go to this one. So if you push, you change the page, and if you move, you change the value. For example, here you selected this one. If you move, you change the value. Okay, this one is to move between the options available. Okay, and if you push, you go to the options inside the sub menu, and you could move through them. If you want to change one of these values, you just go to the wheel at the top and you change the value. So remember, this is to change values, and this one is to change options. Okay, you just click and go back, and click and go inside. Okay, so let's see the different options. Channel A, if you click, you have the voltage. You could change the voltage, increase it or decrease, or the offset. You just move up or down the function. Okay, the DC the coupling, maybe DC, AC, and if this function is enabled or not. In the proof you are going to use X1 or X10. Okay, if you just disable one channel, it just shows hide here. Okay, and then again it shows the voltage. Okay, so it's the same with channel B, you see. And channel C, as I mentioned, is a function. Maybe different kind of functions, A plus B, A minus B, or other. And you could enable it. You just go here and you move. So you enable, and now you have, let's go here, for example, and change to A plus B. So you have here, and you could move this function using this post up and down. Okay, so you could show it. Okay, you see. Okay, so let's disable it by now. Okay, the next one is time base. You could change the time base. That, as I mentioned, is the distance between the two lines in the grid. Okay, so let's go again here, and you could just change the time base. Okay. This one is a trigger. You could click here and you could set the sync mode. So if you put like to single mode, for example, it just take one sample and stops, and you could try another sample just clicking here, and it will start and stop every time. And also, if you are going to activate again or change to another mode like auto, and then you want to start, it is in stop, so you have to click here and it will start again. Okay, so you have different options for the trigger mode. It may be rise or fall. Okay, and the source of the trigger, you could say okay, change the channel, and the threshold of the trigger, you could move the trigger, this T1, okay, to wherever you want to trigger, the point you want to trigger. You could enable or not, okay. So the cursors here, you could move the cursors. So T are the time. So if you just move the cursors, you just, okay, them here and there, and you could do this kind of things. The same for the voltage. If you move it, the cursor changes, and also the voltage between those change. Okay. Then is the X window. If you go to the X window, what you could do is to move through the recording. Okay, so you have here 1K recorded. So you could say, okay, one more than 1K recorded, just change and say, okay, 8Ks. So I could move through all this sample here and there and could analyze. Okay, let's go to the next menu, is the measure menu. Okay, these two values, as I mentioned, are these two values. Okay, the frequency, and yeah, you could change them, and these other are not shown here in this menu. So you could change any one of them. You could go to this one, for example, and just click here and say, okay, the source, I want to change it from B to A, or instead of frequency, I want to show, I don't know, DUT or average voltage or RMS or peak-to-peak volt, max, min. Okay, so you could do this with the different measures. Okay, so you have whatever you want. This one is the battery voltage. Okay, let's go to the next one, that is the options. You have a file manage, so you could save with different formats what you have there, and you have this. Well, you could do something interesting, that is, if you change the configuration and you want it to be always the same every time you switch on the DSO, I think you could record it just pushing this and this. If I'm not mistaken. Okay, yeah, this shows here. It is saved. Okay, you see, click here and here at the same time. Okay, and it start recording. So these parameters that you have here will happen always, and it will appear page 3 options always. So if you want to have page 1 first, always, then go here and you just push both. Okay, and this will appear always. So okay, let's go again to the third one. And here's system settings. You could like change the voltage, the volume of the click. Okay, so there is a click, so now every time you push here you hear a click. If you want to increase or just eliminate it, you just go there. Okay, this one here, wave out option, is the one that creates a signal that goes out from here. Okay, it is very, very basic, so just let's go through it very fast. The type of the wave that you could create is of a square, sine, or triangle, or sawtooth. Only those. You could change the frequency, okay, and the duty only if the function is square. Okay, then you could change the duty cycle. And for the rest, okay, nothing special. Just to say that if you don't want to see this menu, you could just eliminate it by pushing these two wheels at the same time. Okay, so it disappears, and when you push it again, it will show again. Okay, so that's all. It shows that because I pushed this about, okay, by mistake. You have here product information and things like that. So that's all. I hope this video helps you. Bye.